So if you guys are just now tuning in, one of the tricks with Instagram is if you right click and then you click inspect, it's going to bring up this screen right here. Make sure that you have a little blue dot, and if I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see this a little bit better, you make sure you guys see that there's this little blue dot in the top right that's got like a little iPhone and an iPad. If you have that clicked, it allows you to change the mode of your screen to an iPhone. So when you do that and then you hit refresh, what this is going to allow you to do is it's going to allow your virtual assistant to have this little plus button happen right here. And when you click that, it's going to allow you to upload directly to Instagram from your computer, which is going to be critical when having your VA do this, because unless your VA has an iPhone, an Android, or something like that, they were going to be restricted to doing it from their phone. And if your VA didn't have that technology, you were going to be in a bit of a pickle. So this is the way to do it. Just to kind of repeat that, right click, click inspect. Mine already has the plus, but what you'll need to do is change this to iPhone X. Just refresh your screen, and then your VA will be able to do everything from their computer. It's absolutely critical because when they use Canva, it makes it a lot easier just to build everything from here, post it here. You can see how everything looks and flows together, and there's no limitation of functionality there. So with that being said, that's kind of phase number one, is making sure that your VA can post from Instagram. Now, when it comes to Instagram, I'm going to give you guys a few resources real fast, and I'm going to drop into the chat box. So make sure you guys steal these out. Kristen's also going to make note of these and put it in the Kajabi course as well for you. But the two links that I'm going to share with you right here are what I call idea makers. And what I mean by idea makers is I personally, many of you guys know this about me, I'm not someone that loves to sit on Canva, make pretty designs, or become creative when it comes to Instagram. But what I can do, and what I am really effective at, is I am really good at going and looking at people that are already good at Instagram and being able to duplicate and bring some of their influence into my business. And so there's two really good websites. The first one I provided you guys was the top 125 real estate Instagram influencers in 2021. I just like it because it gives you their Instagram handle. So you can go click this. It's going to pop up their Instagram, and you can see exactly the types of things that you're posting for. Now, this guy's got a unique style. He's doing fix and flips. Probably isn't going to match what a majority of you guys are looking for your Instagram to look like. But what I do like is if you scroll through here and you find the people that do align with the style that you're looking for, it allows you to give your VAs rock solid advice or different people to look at. Like many of you guys will see here, this is kind of what we call a Gary V style Instagram, where you have these top quotes, where you have these letterings, because all of this is possible super easily with Canva. The problem is the majority of us don't have the time to sit down and think, well, I have this video, I have this photo, this is the type of lettering. But when you use someone that's already doing it at a high level, we can use it as inspiration. Like easily, your VAs could go in and take this post right here and do the exact same post and use it for you, right? But put in your own things, put in your own branding. And so I just share those with you guys because that's the number one thing. I think a lot of people turn it over to their VAs and go, hey, I hope you guys can do my Instagram for me. And that's just so unfair to your virtual assistant because they don't know what you like or dislike. They don't know your style. And so one of the best ways to teach them is to go through here and find the people that match your style. Like actually, this is kind of funny. I actually know Kelly personally. She's got a really good style. She's a little bit more of a travel blogger, different things like that. So you guys can see here, go through, see what their different Instagrams are, and get your advice from there. The other one, if you guys want to see more specific to your neighborhood / state, city, Property Spark has a great website where they rank. It's a little biased a little bit. It's not totally true, but they'll go into each major metropolitan city and give you what they believe are the top 15 to 30 accounts on social media. And so again, we use this kind of as a starting ground for our virtual assistants to go in and pick the styles and the different Instagrams that you guys like. So with that being said, one of the best ways to do this is when you're building out your Asana account for Instagram, take the ones you like, put them in Asana and tell them to copy those. The other thing we want to do is we want to make sure that we go and follow all of those people. You guys will see that I don't follow a ton of people on Instagram. The people I am following are usually the people that I'm ripping off and duplicating their stuff. As a reminder to everybody, Instagram is very different from any other platform, that your followers, actually, you usually don't want to match the following. My following, I only want usually my top 100 to 200 VIP clients for me to be following, because what it does is it makes sure that when I'm going through my feed and looking through everything, it's making sure that everything's super clean and I don't have to worry about seeing a whole bunch of junk. On Facebook, a lot of you guys know that my methodology is we're going to add a lot of friends so they see our stuff. But on Facebook, it makes it be a two-way connection. On Instagram, you do not. So the number one mistake I see agents make is they also have their Instagram private. I understand why a lot of you guys would have and want it private, but it's the absolute biggest mistake when it comes to Instagram for real estate is if someone has to click request access to your Instagram, it is shown that over 40% of people actually shy away from requesting access to follow you because they have this notion that it's going to be weird that you're going to see the request. They'd much rather just follow you and that be the end of the day. So that's kind of the first stop along the way, is to do that. The third thing is when we're talking about following people on Instagram and creating organic content and creating followers, there's a strategy that we use called the follow and unfollow strategy. And so I'm going to give you guys an example of this real fast. And this is something that a lot of my virtual assistants will do each day for our account, is we will basically go in here and, for example, you guys know that I sell products to real estate agents. So honestly, any real estate agent is my target market. But usually I'm going to start within people that know, like, and trust me. And so for me personally, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to type in this, I'm going to type in that, and I'm just going to do a search. Now, this obviously seems kind of painstaking. You guys wouldn't necessarily do this for every single thing, but you guys are going to be able to see how we would go through and take this. The other thing we're going to do is each and every day, my virtual assistants are going to go through all of the suggestions. So we're going to basically click see all suggestions. We're going to go through and see who we actually should add, and we're going to follow them. Now, a lot of you guys heard that we don't keep a lot of followers that I'm following. So what we'll do is we're basically going to, for example, I'm going to follow Sergio. I know I need him to follow me, and I'm just going to follow a few of these people. Now, the rule of thumb for our virtual assistants is we don't want to follow more than about 30 to 50 people a day. So if you're taking notes, you don't want to follow more than about 30 to 50 people a day. But as I go through here, you guys are going to see that I'm going to go through, make sure that I'm following all of these people. Usually, like I said, we're just going to go 30 to 50. If you've never done it before, start with 10 to 20 a day, guys. That really does add up fast. So I know. And hey, Whitney, there you are. So you guys can see the power of Instagram. Whitney's on this call today. You can see the power of Instagram and suggestions. Let it do the hard work. And once you start to build the best bottom line, you're going to start finding the right people. So once you've done that, you're obviously going to see that your Instagram, if you go to your profile, is going to grow as well. And so you're going to see, okay, now I'm from 142 to 162. In about a month or two, once this hits 500, we'll actually go back in and unfollow everybody. The reason why we do that is it makes sure that it keeps my situation clean on my Instagram account, but a large majority of those who I followed also would have immediately followed me back. And so the rule of thumb is I don't really care who I see, I care who sees me. And that's kind of the rule, that's kind of the 101 rule of when it comes to social media. I kind of, the best example I can give to you on this is a car dealership. The car dealers at the car dealer say, I don't really care who drives by here. I only care who sees me. And so it's kind of the same thing as we only care who's driving through Instagram and sees us. We don't really care who we see driving on the road because it's the opposite. We want to see who is seeing us. And so Steven says, can they track if you unfollow? Sure, yeah. I mean, Steven, you would know that everybody that follows me, I don't follow back. And so for us, it really doesn't matter because no one we've ever found has ever gone, hey, you're not following us, so we don't like you anymore, right? There's this thing about large Instagram following accounts of not having a lot of followers. The best example I can give of this, and I'll show you guys here, someone by the name of Grant Cardone. I don't think that's the right, that is the right one. You know, he's got 3.1 million followers, but he's only following 2,276 of those people. The reason why is when he gets on Instagram, if he was following all 3.1 million, he would also have a problem of not being able to spend quality interactive time. So same thing here, we want a ratio of these different things. The other thing that you guys are going to see among really good looking Instagram accounts is very similar looking vibes, right? You got the words across the top, the explanations, you know, we're not just seeing real estate postings over and over and over again. I think that's the number one mistake of Instagram, is people use Instagram as real estate agents just to post listings. I promise you, if I go to your Instagram account and you have a whole bunch of listings posted, I don't see you any better off or worse as an agent. I just see you as an agent that's posting listings. For me and most people, it usually looks as if you're being lazy about your Instagram account. And I say that with the caveats. That is how I ran my Instagram account for a long time. So I've been there, I've done that. But now that you have virtual assistants, there's no reason why your Instagram account can't be a lot better than it is. You know, so I went from posting listings to posting way more about my life. And that's kind of where we started to skyrocket and started to see a lot bigger numbers. The other thing that you guys will see on a few different levels is the ability to write a little bit more about you. Now, when you guys go to Instagram, Instagram will actually not let you do this usually from your profile, whether it's on your phone or whether it is on your Instagram account. They won't let you make it look like this. One of the tricks on how to get around this is, and I'll show you here, is what you'll do is you'll basically copy and paste someone's. You guys can use mine, for example. It's just going to allow you to copy it, paste it in there, and then you can change it. You can change the emojis and do different things to kind of give people a better explanation about yourself. I would put a website, or I would put some type of, you know, different thing that people can go to and learn a little bit more about you. And you can just copy and paste this, put the emojis in. And the reason why you have to copy and paste is it allows it to put this many words in there. If you don't do a copy and paste, Instagram will not let you just type that out and break it up into different lines. So that's kind of if we're just looking at profile creation, you guys know that I like to use a similar look. You guys will also see that, as I always talk about in all videos, I use the same profile picture across all platforms. This is usually my Facebook profile. It's usually my Instagram profile. It's usually my LinkedIn profile. It's usually my Snapchat story profile. You guys will see that this is usually the same as well. Now, the other thing that you guys can do is, if you're adding here, you guys can add your own custom stories. So one of the cool things is, if you guys are ever adding stories here, the way that you guys get these little emojis, we're going to talk about here in just a bit. But I just want to check the questions real fast, because I see some of them are doing it. Cassidy, great point. They do have apps if someone wants to track who unfollowed you, but I don't really care who unfollowed me. But they do have apps if you want to see who's ever unfollowed you. Jordan, how long have you been using this method on Word Instagram? Will block my account. Jordan, yes, it is most of the way that we have gotten to 11,000 followers, is just following that. And Jordan, you always want to start slow, right? So you want to start at 10, 15 a day, right? 10 to 15 a day isn't going to get anything blocked. Usually it's when you're messaging all those people or you're doing things like that, right? Here's the best explanation that I can show everybody when it comes to this. You now have a virtual assistant, because remember, we have to think differently now. Many of us have never had assistants. We've never had people to do these small tasks over and over again. 200 working days times 1,500, sorry, I'm asking a little, excuse my tired brain this morning, times 15 requests, right? You've now sent out over 2,500 follows. If you were just to follow this method, the average follow back is about 50%. You get about 1,200 new followers a year. Now, I use that for conservative math, right? But what actually happens is, over time, your Instagram account becomes so good, it catches traction. You can actually take these 200 working days and you can actually go and follow 30, right? So now you can double this number. Now you're getting 3,000 followers. You absolutely can buy Instagram followers. We can talk about another class. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think it's a great idea. We've done it on a few of our accounts before and it's worked very successfully, but it's not going to be something that I would suggest for most people to do right off the bat. So if we're just kind of recapping real fast, make sure your bio is filled out right, make sure you got the right photo, make sure you guys know how to right click and hit inspect so you can post everything from your Instagram account from your computer. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about when it comes to IGTV, you guys are going to see that we post videos on our IGTV. This is actually, if I'm being fully transparent, only something we've started to do in probably the last month or two because I'm such a Facebook guy. I housed everything on there. When it comes to IGTV, we basically look at it as a free source of places to put all of our different things. So when you're looking at our social media plan here, and just if you guys were on last week's call, Kristen this morning did upload this spreadsheet for you guys into Kajabi. So you guys will have access to this as well under last week's recorded call. But when we look at Instagram TV, for us, it's just another platform that if I'm shooting a video or a YouTube video, or I shoot a quick 30, 45 minute talk in my car, or I'm out in front of a property doing a walkthrough, Instagram TV is just another place to put all of that information. And so we don't do it personally anything special with Instagram TV, but what we do is every time we post something, we make sure that we're uploading it to Instagram TV. If you guys have never used Instagram TV, it's really simple. You have to do it from your computer. You actually can't do it from your phone. When you get to Instagram, you're going to go to IGTV, click upload, and then it's going to let you upload everything directly here that is longer than 30 seconds. So these are great for longer videos, trainings, house walkthroughs, different things like that. I think it is an absolutely amazing tool to use when it comes to that. Now, that's kind of leads us into our next thing. And I'm going to come back to there in just a second to Instagram TV. But the way that Instagram TV becomes really effective is whenever you go to your main Instagram and so you guys will see here, I'm going to follow these 162 people in my main Instagram. When you go in here and you heart all of these people that you're following, what actually happens is the algorithm will favor showing all of these people your post when you go through and heart them, right? And so now when you're uploading to Instagram TV, what's going to happen is these people actually are going to have a higher likelihood of seeing your post. And so for most of us, this following that we're following should be our past clients. They should be people that have virtual assistants. They should, different things for me at least. And the other thing we have our VAs do is we just add comments, right? We'll have our VAs go in here and go, wow, this is so smart. Gonna steal this post, right? And and I just say funny things like that. Again, the whole point is to cause interaction that causes people to go onto our accounts and look us up. Kyle, one of our biggest virtual assistant referrers in the nation, big agent. We can go in here. I know that I want to comment on his for the day. My virtual assistants would be doing this. I might say something like, might just have to join, right? Again, we're using words and verbiage that the virtual assistants can think of on the run, and it'd be general enough that I could be light on my feet if someone asked me the question, but also it just causes interaction, right? We're not trying to do anything crazy, but whenever you guys look at what is your social media plan, if you just had your virtual assistant do this, and we kind of call this the T-chart exercise, if we had them look at Facebook, Instagram, and all these different platforms that you're using, right? The number one thing we want them to do is to post, right? So if we're talking about posts, my ideal world would be 4 posts a day on Facebook, 3 posts a day on Instagram. Then my next step would be, I need interaction, right? So what's the VA gonna do? They're gonna go in there and they're going to, usually for us, they're gonna like the first 500 posts they see, right? So we're going to start there, because what's going to happen is now 500 notifications are going to the people that I follow and care about with my name. That is 500 more than what your competition's doing. Instagram, same thing. I'm going to go give 200 hearts to the top 200 people. Again, now you're sending out these 200 different things. I don't know what 200 times 50 is. It's about 10,000 actually. That's 10,000 more notifications you are pushing out per year by having your virtual assistant do a 10 to 15 minute task. This is 4,000. And again, This isn't something that you're going to start off with and have your VA just go and like all the 500 posts in your Facebook feed or the 200. We're going to slowly work to get there. Here's the thing, guys. We live in a society that craves attention. The people that are posting a lot on these different platforms, they want the likes. They look at the likes. They see who's making comments, right? And so if we can engage in that and rise to the top, it's going to make us stand out. Now, the critical thing with this is you need to make sure that the people that you're following are the people that are going to make you money. And so that's where you see people like Grant Cardone that have 2,000 followers. They want to make sure these people are the people that are going to make you money. You don't want just random people usually that you're following, because they're going to clutter your feed up when it comes to those different things. So with that being said, feel free to jump in anytime, guys. I know some of you guys have questions here. Does Instagram TV work like Facebook Live? So no, Tim, Instagram TV is a storage facility. So Instagram just stores it. So it's really not anything that you can go live. It's not very effective though. You might as well just go Facebook Live and then download the video. So that's currently what we do, is if we go Facebook Live, we'll immediately download the video and then upload it directly into Instagram TV just to have another record of it. We only run Instagram personally on our business accounts. We believe that business accounts and personal accounts are all merged these days. You don't see, let me give you guys an example. And again, I know some of these names are super big and not at the status that I'm at or any of us are at, but we usually see that these pages are all run, everybody's business pages are run on their personal. You know, they're talking lifestyle, they're talking family events, they're talking vacations, they're talking what they're up to. We really see this intertwined, because running two accounts we found is just diluting who you're following. Like, you have to double all the work, double the postings, double who you're following. And so for us personally, we don't do two different accounts. They're all intertwined. And that's why you see on my personal account why we kind of sell a little bit too of what we're selling. So what is a good way to add to your thousands of LinkedIn contacts as people you are following on Instagram? It's manual. There's not a great way to do it automatically. You literally, if you guys remember our 2021 master document that I showed you guys last week, when we're looking at our sphere of influence and we're looking at people that are high up on our list, there's a reason here that I'm looking at, like, for example, Nick Good sends us a ton of VA referrals. The reason why I have his Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn is I can go right here, I can click on this, and it's going to tell me whether or not I'm following Nick on Instagram, which I am. And so now what it's going to allow me to do is it allows me to look at who are all the people in my LinkedIn, am I connected with them on Instagram? There is no shortcuts. If you think there's a shortcut, get out. There's not. And that's why those that do this effectively win in the long run, because we build this omnipresent look. A majority of you guys on this call today, if you've bought VA services from us, most likely you came from this exact strategy. You came from one of the people on this list posting about us, or you saw us on Facebook or Instagram, or you saw us get tagged in something. And that is how we do it, is we're tracking all of these people to make sure we're connected with them on social media. So same thing kind of goes in your guys' world. These could be your past clients. These could be the clients you're working with, your business vendors. We just want those all around connections. So definitely takes a little bit of time. Yes, so just wondered, because I thought you could run ads on a business Instagram. You can actually run ads on a personal Instagram as well. So when you're in your Facebook Ads Manager, actually all of our Instagram ads run to this Instagram as well. So you actually get to choose which Instagram account you guys can have. Now, this is considered, if you guys are really looking at this account I'm showing you here is considered a business account. But when most people are talking business or personal, they're really the same thing. The only difference is you're just using them usually for two different things. There is a great way to use personal and business accounts. I'll show you guys one here. Rebecca Daniels in our group, she's really good at Instagram, and she does two different ones. So she's got a Homes with Becca here. So you guys can see that she does all of her with her real estate stuff, should I say, here. So you can see it's a little bit more about home ownership, another great person to follow when it comes to Instagram, and a lot of business from it. And then you can also see how she does more of her personal life on the other one, but she also spends a lot of time on there. And so that would have to be the question you ask yourself is, what am I looking for? However, you'll still see that she does still kind of promote back to her business from here as well on both accounts. She does keep this one private because it's her personal account usually. And then I think the other one can be followed by anybody. So if you guys are looking for a great example of someone to follow, she does a really good job and does get a good amount of business from both of her pages on here. So great questions when it comes to that. Hey, Jordan, say you had a question. I didn't even know that was a tool on here. I love that. Feel free to ask away. Questions. Jordan, I think you might have a question, or raised your hand, or maybe just clicked a button. Feel free to jump in.
No, you covered it. I forgot to lower it.
Oh, no, you're totally good. I've never even seen that on Zoom. So I love that you just taught me something. I love that. So that's kind of, really people overcomplicate. And, I'm going to tell you guys, if I'm being really straightforward with you, that people overcomplicate Instagram because it's usually the reason why we overcomplicate it is we just have never been consistent. We've never taken the time to make good looking posts and different things like that. And so when we're looking at, Justin, what does my VA need to be doing on social media for me? If I was just to write this out, and if you guys were to go put this in your Asana for Instagram, literally what I would do is I would just write out Instagram, right? And I would say task number 1 for the day. And imagine this is Asana. I want you to go in and follow 20 people. All right, keep it super simple. Let's go in, let's follow 20 people. And then I'm going to go into Asana and I'm going to say, I want this to happen 5 days a week. All right, super easy. All right, what are we going to do next? We are going to like/hearts the first 50 posts. Let's just start simple. Heart the first 50 posts. We're going to do this 5 days a week. Right? Then we're going to do the next thing. I'm going to say, I want you to comment on 50 posts. And again, you can start smaller, guys. There's no rule of thumb here. Just don't go too big, too fast. Again, I want you to do this 5 days a week. Perfect. Awesome. So we got the interaction done. What else do I need you to do? I need you guys to go in here and I need you to post on my Instagram page 1 time per day. Okay? 1 time posting. Your VA can't post 1 time a day for you. Something's wrong, let us know. Should be pretty darn easy, especially with the resources we just gave you, 5 days a week. Now, the key with this is the better your Instagram will only be as good as you are. So with this, you need to give yourself a task. And we talked about this last week actually with Lisa, is you need to send your VA on average 2 to 3 photos a day. And what I mean by that is just take photos of random things. Take a random selfie, take a picture of you driving, take a picture of you at the park, take a picture of your kids, take a picture of random things and just send it to your VA. See what they can make out of these pictures. See what they can make out of these photos. See what they can do with their creative juices on it and just send it to them. Make a Google Drive folder, do it for them. So when we're looking back at what are our VAs doing on Instagram, follow 20 people a day, like 50 posts, comment on 50 posts, 1 time posting. Guys, don't overcomplicate it. I literally just wrote out with your VA the entire what you should be doing on Instagram in under 5 minutes. That's it. That's if you start there, this has a compounding effect. If we're looking at a chart, your Instagram will start to go like this, it'll go like this, and it will go like this. But this may not happen for 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, 24 months. It's because it's the reason why a majority of us never get these platforms to where we want them to be is we just fail in the consistency. It's not that we're not hard workers. We just have too many things going on. And so when we look at our master document and I'm looking at my social media plan, I know that if I can get all these filled out each day, we're good to go. I know that we're getting the business in the right spot. I know everything's flowing, and that's really just built on this. Now, if you were to zoom out, guess what we do with our Facebook account? You guys will see we do almost the same thing. We're gonna follow 20 people a day, like 50 posts, comment 50 posts, 1 time posting, very, very similar when it comes to the basics of these platforms. If your VAs can accomplish this over a long time, this compounds. Don't expect it to jump your following right away, but you guys will also see inside of our social media accounts, I actually track the growth month over month of our accounts. So again, this sheet was shared with all of you guys. The reason why we track our growth is we don't want to make decisions based on emotion. We want to make decisions based on facts. So 1 month, I got really mad at one of my VAs for full transparency. We hadn't grown our Instagram account enough. But that was based on emotion. I thought we were way bigger and I was comparing to a wrong number. And she had told me, hey, Justin, we were actually at 8,000 last month. Now we're at 9,000. I was like, oh, sorry, I was based on emotion, not based on facts. So we'll also track all these different platforms because obviously the goal is to get as big as possible on all of these different platforms. So and you can do that with any of your team members, anything like that as well. So just wanted to share that with you guys there. And then last but not least, my absolute favorite, and I think the most effective thing on all of Instagram is the Facebook stories. If you guys have never used Instagram stories, I will create an entire video on it sometime in the coming weeks, but it's really easy. Basically, if you guys don't know what a Facebook story is, just go and watch a whole bunch of people's Facebook stories. You'll see here, it's literally them just posting things that they're doing throughout the day. The reason this is actually the person that does my meal prep for me and all my cooking, just by her posting that, this literally shows me what she's doing during the day. So when you're providing your VAs pictures of what you're doing during the day, either you or yourself can post this on Instagram, and this will automatically also go to your Facebook stories. Do not overcomplicate it. It's the same theory of what's maybe a little bit overused is the gym picture, right? When someone posts a gym picture to these, you're going to see that their point got across. They were at the gym. If you guys are looking for somebody that does an amazing job with Instagram, it's JJ. He's using a few of our virtual assistants to help do his Instagram and a few different things. So if you guys want to follow somebody that's doing this at a very high level, I do recommend following the JJ.Jara. Does an absolutely amazing job because what you'll see is he's doing nothing different than you other than just taking his phone out 30 seconds here and there and taking a quick screenshot of people, because every time he's doing this, people know, oh, he's at the office again, he's working away, he's helping somebody out. And so you guys can see that it doesn't have to be pretty, but it does and will show you what these people are up to. So absolutely love that. We'll tell the story of what they are doing. So if you guys don't do that, you definitely should. And again, this is just done by using photos, videos, different things like that. Like I can almost guarantee, and he could tell me if I'm wrong, I think his VAs do most of this work now. He does have a video editing VA with us, and they use Canva for a lot of this stuff. So with that being said, I know I've been talking at you for a long time and walking you through a little bit of this. And Tim says, are you using some content across your different platforms, aka Facebook business, the same as the Instagram business, personal? Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely. We use the same content across all platforms, just optimized a little bit differently. Might be shaped a little bit differently, might be just a little bit different of a size, but for the majority of the platforms, we do. Because if you guys remember our rule of thumb that I showed you guys last week, here's what happens. Each of you guys know 500 people. On your Facebook account, let's just say you have 200 of them as friends. On Instagram account, you have another 100 of them that aren't on any of them. Then you go to LinkedIn and you find you have 75 of the 500 only on LinkedIn. And then you go to your Snapchat story and you find that you only have 100 of these because these are your closer friends maybe, or whatever your story is. And so when we look here, here's the problem. Most of us go to only one platform and we make our 2 Facebook posts for the day, okay? Now, when we make our 2 Facebook posts for the day, the problem is out of these 200 people, probably only 50 saw them because of the 200, maybe only 50 logged in. Maybe Facebook didn't show it to all 200. We're good to go. And then because you're so swamped and have so much business, you just never get to your Instagram post for the day. You never get to your LinkedIn post, but you maybe you make one snap for the day, right? When you make one snap, what happens is then maybe like 25 of those people see it. And so when you look at what we call an effectiveness score, your effectiveness score for that day was only 75 people out of 100, which is a massive disjustice because you've already done the hard work. What if we just had our VAs take that same content that you posted on Facebook and we made them 2 Instagram posts, right? And what if of the 100, 50 saw it, right? Kind of the same rule of thumb. What if we also took that same Facebook post and we went and put it on LinkedIn, those 2 Facebook posts? Now, what if 35 of those saw it? Now what you found is you now have a bigger number. You now have over 150 people seeing your post per day in regards to not having the other numbers. Now you guys are kind of seeing here, we didn't do any more hard work, but we got more results because we posted that same thing right here. And that's when you guys see inside of our spreadsheet why we track this so meticulously inside of the S&P section is I know that if I get across all these platforms, I'm going to have touched all of my clients. Even if my best friend only got on Snapchat for the day, he's going to see my stuff. If my mom only got on Facebook for the day, that's all she uses, she's going to see my stuff. Same thing in return. We don't know where our clients are going to be at any given time. So, and you guys can even see I break down the Facebook pages, our Google pages. If you guys have ever looked up our Google page, we try as often as possible to also post to our Google page. So let's see where it's at. It's not popping up here. Let's try it again. If you guys ever find our Google page, you guys will see that it pops up there as well on the right side. So you guys will see we post all of our stuff there. Oh, I'm not sure. Oh, there it is. You guys will see we also make all of our posts inside of this page as well. So with that being said, I'm going to turn off my mouth for a second, turn it over to you guys and see what questions you guys have. But fairly straightforward when it comes to Instagram.
I had a question about sharing the passwords. I tried to share Facebook this morning via LastPass, and it gave me some weird error message. I said, oh, maybe Facebook is doing some maintenance.
Yeah.
Is that what you're using for Instagram, LastPass?
Yeah, great question. I would have to defer to some other people on this call. I personally suggest, for me personally, I give my VAs access to my Facebook and Instagram passwords specifically. That's something I do there just because it's easier personally. There's not a whole lot that anybody can do having access to your Instagram. It does put some risk on you, but it's definitely not anything, you don't have your social security, you don't have your bank account in there. The biggest thing is they obviously do have access to your private conversations. And so, that's usually the determining factor on whether or not someone's going to let someone inside of their Facebook account. I would say, obviously, when it comes to business pages, make them editors on all of those on your Instagram account. Same, just let them log in directly. And then, that's really what we do there. Make sure all your recovery emails are set right. So, if for some reason your virtual assistant were to ever quit and you forgot the password, just make sure your recovery emails for the forget password button is up to date. So, that's just another quick reminder. That way, if you ever did need to go reset it, or if your VA did accidentally one day change your password and tell you, they're not supposed to. That's kind of against the rules. But if they did, forgot to tell you, it was an innocent mistake, you still want to make sure your recovery email is set up, just so that way you can go in there and get all of that. I know the other day I did mine and it was like Justin 1-2 from when I was like in 7th grade. And I'm like, amazing. I would have been screwed because I don't know where to find that or access to that. So I was able to change that. So I would definitely recommend you guys do that across all of your platforms as well.
Thank you.
Of course. Of course. I know some of you guys are brand new to having VAs. And so if you have no clue what we're talking about on Asana or Slack or Screenshot Monitor yet, just jump in your course sometime. I know some of you guys are like new as of like last Friday. So love you guys jumping on. I know we got Jennifer's new. We got a few others that are, I think Kia's new. So love to have you guys on these calls. Love that. Whitney said on Instagram, you only want to have one account. Would you run everything on a business or personal account? I would run it on, Whitney, do you have an example of both? I would love to look at both. I could give you a better answer if I knew what both your accounts were. But to us, it really is just what account you probably have the best following on, because they really all do operate the same. If you guys are looking for someone else that doesn't, or let me share my screen with you guys real fast. If you guys are looking for someone else that does Instagram at a very high level, Kyle Whistle out of San Diego, and Whistle is spelled WHISSEL, does an amazing job on his Instagram account. Probably one of the best in the nation, in my opinion, in terms of just letting people know what he does. Again, silly photo. They just came out of lockdown, I believe, in LA and San Diego area. So he literally just made a little reference here. I guarantee it didn't take him more than 10 to 15 seconds to create this entire post. So definitely recommend following Kyle as well. if you guys don't already. What else? What else can I help you guys with? I know it's a lot of information. Feel free to drop any questions you guys have. And as I'm doing that, I'm going to check out Whitney's stuff. So appreciate that, Whitney. Honestly, usually the answer comes down to what account you have the best following on, usually. That's usually the better answer. Love that you're using Linktree. Love that. It's another great little tip. If you guys have never seen that, there's an app called Linktree, linktr.ee. Basically allows people to see all of your different things. So that's kind of Whitney's version of being able to see, or people can go click and see what all things she has and is up to. So love that. Love that. Yeah, no, to be honest with you, I would say, Whitney, I don't think you would go wrong choosing either other. I think what would look really good is if you integrated all these posts that you're already doing here, like these under contract posts, have a good pop. I think if you just integrated those into your more, what looks like your lifestyle, photos, that I think that would be a great combination, and it's gonna make you feel less overwhelmed. If I was going off a gut feeling, you have 107 followers, you have 261. I would guess your 261 are probably more friends, family, past clients, things like that. So I would absolutely just kind of merge them together, guys. It takes your stress way down, and now you're focused on just getting people onto one platform, which really, really does help over time. So also see you're tagged in a few photos there, which is nice. And I don't think you were tagged. Yeah, you're not tagged any here. So I would definitely recommend this one right here. If I was looking at it from just from an unbiased standpoint. So great question. All right, guys, what else? Anybody else got anything that they have on the wrap up here? Anything else at all? Well, Kristen will get this recording. I'm going to cut it real fast. She'll get this recording uploaded for you guys. If you guys, just as a reminder,